Okay, so welcome to my 1985 Honda ATC 250 SX. Bought this from a friend of mine a couple of years ago. Was sitting in his barn for a long time. Was pretty sure it ran when he parked it, but it was in the barn for many, many years. He wasn't quite sure if it ran well. There was something in the rear end or something else wrong with it. He couldn't really remember. So I've had it in storage for a couple of years, and I think it was time. So I've peeled off all the plastics, took off as much as I could off the machine, and yet still be able to drive it. Figured I would rebuild the carburetor, get the machine running, take it out, run it through the gears, make sure it mechanically, drivetrain-wise, is a good machine and runs well. And if it does, then break it down and take it in for paint. Because yeah, the frame's in rough shape, as you can probably see. So yeah, that's today. As you can see, here is the tank. Actually in pretty good shape. There's a couple of small dents in it, and it's got surface rust on the inside, but yeah. So basically today it's get a fuel bottle attached to it, fuel line run to the carburetor, my boost pack on the battery, got a little cushy foamy seat, and fire this thing up. Something like that. Could probably zip tie that on. Something like this. Just keep it upright so it gets a little bit of fuel, because the fuel in the bowl isn't going to get me very far. Okay. Wrap this around there. I don't want to cut my hose, so we'll just make this work here somehow. Something like that. Just some two-sided Velcro, so I'm not throwing away a lot of zip ties. Okay, that has to be secured somehow. Okay, on. Okay, power. Okay, key on, choke on. Okay, awesome. That tire needs some air. This valve on here was all bunged up and wrecked, so I had to rip the core out of the original valve stem, and I don't want to replace it now, so I just screwed a new one on top of the old one. Okay. That's enough to get me down the street. Perfect. Okay, she runs awesome. Going through all the gears, worked like a champ. So obviously has some oil leaks and things to take care of, but this is a great candidate for a rebuild. So yeah, that's awesome. Stay tuned for this one. This thing's gonna be great when it's done.